Hello, my loves. All right, so this is another message for you guys. So, we have spent the last few weeks covering our courage and confidence series. Um, and so then there's 4 videos that if you want to, you can go back and work through some of those. And some of the key points that came out of that were really interesting to me because, see, this is the thing, guys. A lot of this stuff that I share with you isn't stuff that's just it's common knowledge or it's something that I've gone to a certain school to learn. A lot of this stuff that I share with you, I ask what is the highest that we can understand about certain things, right? So we talked about anxiety and how to work with it. We talked about resistance and what resistance actually means, not what you've been taught for it to mean. And then we also talked about regret, right? And how that affects us. And we've talked about all these different things that people often get hung up on as they're moving forward towards their dreams. And so I encourage you to go back to listen to those because what we're moving into, the clarification about the information I got today, was about how to get the stream of miracles flowing. So we're really going to do a next level series now, which is all about miracles and how to get into that flow zone with the miracles, how to align with that so that becomes part of our regular life. So if you feel like you need courage and confidence, it's 4 videos. Again, I encourage you to go back and listen to those. And then, if you've got specific questions, write me, DM me, whatever you want to do to get in touch. And I would love to make a video for you. My mission on earth is all about helping other people experience or enjoy the human experience. And so what is actually happening right now in the world is that we're seeing a lot of the distractions and obsessions and old ways of doing things are starting to fall apart where our interest isn't as piqued by being involved with those things. And we're starting to look other places for that happiness, for our fulfillment. And so it's opening up new doors. And so what I am here to do is just give you new awarenesses every week, new ways of looking at the old things, but looking at it through a new lens. And if it resonates with you, wonderful. And if it doesn't, maybe it will at a later time. See, that's how we work, is as we evolve, as we grow into more awareness, deeper understandings, what actually happens is that we then are able to access new information. But sometimes we can't access information that's behind, 3 or 4 doors down the road because we're still back a couple miles and we still got to get through a couple of initial steps, right? And so as we move forward towards these, more things just keep opening up. And that's a big focus of how I conduct my courses, of how I coach. It's always just treating it like an onion, right? Where it's just peeling off the layers, seeing what is the next best step, moving forward with that. What's now the next best step? Move forward with that, right? We can't see the whole chess game. It's not there for us. And so what I'm inviting you guys to do is to join me on this new series about how to get into the flow of miracles, because miracles isn't just for the elites. It's not just for the superhumans. It's not just for the super spiritual. It's available for everyone. And the fact that it's not happening regularly in your life shows you that you're actually out of sync, because it should be. If you are living in complete alignment, you are going to live your life where it's miracle, 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 synchronicity, synchronicity, synchronicity. And that's just how things work. Now, I just want to give you a quick example of this. We think it can only happen with the big things, right? That miracles and synchronicities and these kinds of things can only come to us in big light bulb moments and really just showcase how amazing the universe is. It comes in every little area. So one way I want to share with you is just, I found out, so for many of you who know, I am an ultra marathon racer. And last year, because of COVID in Canada, we didn't, like, pretty much every race got canceled. So for the last year and a half, I haven't been racing. And then once the races were announced, they were very short notice, and I was nursing bursitis in my hip tendon. I now have an amazing chiropractor who has helped me to work with that, and sports med team. And so now I'm back into training, and I started, training a little bit heavier about a month ago, and, starting to set some mental goals and that kind of stuff. And it was amazing because I felt this inner urging to stock up on the supplements that I use specifically for training. And also, and I'm getting goosebumps telling you about this actually, and to order some more running shoes, which I know it seems so mundane and not a big deal. But here's the key part, okay? So I start ramping up my mileage. I start training a little harder. I start pushing a little harder. I've found a good chiro who is supporting me in what I'm doing and making sure my hips stay in alignment so that I don't reactivate this bursitis. I have called my sports med team and got another prescription for the anti-inflammatories that seem to keep this at bay so that I can train the muscles around it without aggravating it. And hopefully the idea is that at that point, it's not going to be an issue anymore. And then I've, gone and ordered all this stuff. So here's the crazy thing. I did this all a couple of weeks ago. And then, I started this engine rolling, right? And then just last Wednesday, I look in my email and I'm looking in there and I'm just like, oh, I kind of have a feeling that there's probably something I'm missing. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through to see if there's anything I've been missing out that I should know about. Because I very rarely read messages on my social media, my email, that kind of stuff. To me, it's just very distracting and time consuming. Most of it isn't relevant to what I'm working on. And so I save that for, really unique situations like this. So I look in there in my updates folder of my personal email and I'm scrolling through. So it's not in my primary. And all of a sudden I see that the race that I placed first in for females 2 years ago when we were racing in 2020, and incidentally, it's the one that I'm like their poster child. So if you actually go to their website, X Warrior, and you look up their ultra race, it's a picture of me, which you can see it's a picture of me that's also on my Instagram profile. And so I want to hold on to that title, right, of being first for females. And so I've kind of been casually keeping tabs on when this race is going to happen and talking with the race director. And I hadn't heard anything. Nobody had messaged me or emailed me. So I happened to look in here and I see it's 95% sold out. So I go right into panic mode. I'm like, I need to get into this race. This is my title. I need to, get out there and be there. And so I'm messaging X Warrior to find out because I won first, so it was a race credit, right? So I'm trying to figure out how I can activate this race credit. Then I look deeper into my emails and I find out as of January 7th, they had actually already registered me with Race Roster. So I'm already registered in this thing. They'd already done all the work for me, but nobody actually sent me a message that would hit my primary folder in my email box. And I had no idea. So I was encouraged, right? And how amazing is that? Like that's what I'm talking about, guys. It's little things like that, little synchronicities, little miracles that let you know you're always being looked after. You're always being held. You're always being guided if you're willing to listen to that inner nudging. And we have to have that channel, that line that's open between us and what the universe is providing for us. Because if we don't, we're not going to hear those little inner nudgings and that little messaging. And that's a big part of what my course, You've Got Miracles, is really focused on, is being able to hear all that is trying to come through for us, because that guidance is available. We're always asking for signs, right? But we need to learn to listen to it. And so the exciting part is I've ordered all this stuff. My supplements are starting to roll in as of this week, and my shoes are rolling in, so I can, figure out which shoes I'm going to, train with and then race with. And how else? would that have happened? I mean, if I had only found out on Wednesday and had only just started ordering this stuff, it takes a couple weeks to get here, and I'd be halfway through this because I just found out. Here's the key part, that this race isn't in September when it usually is. This race is actually June 4th. So I got like 40 some days to get ready to run a 50K ultra in the hills with pretty good elevation. Pretty nuts. So if you want to find out more about that race, feel free to check it out. Like I said, at X Warrior Ultra, and you'll see my picture there. And then there's a cute little video, right, that also shows, you know, some of the things, the highlights about it. So that's why I'm encouraging you guys. It's little things, right? It makes your life so much easier. And that's where I'm encouraging you guys to live. That's what I'm trying to bring to you, is the opportunities to live in this amazing place where you are constantly guided. If it's something as small or insignificant to you that doesn't seem very spiritual as running an ultra, you know, or those little things that might be in your world. Maybe it's you're going to synchronistically find a bike that you've been looking for, or a car. These things are happening for you, and they're always available to you. Life doesn't have to be a struggle. It can be easy. So push the easy button and get connected. Okay, that was a big rant. Sorry, but I'm really excited about it. So and I think this is the key, right? It's astounding. It's absolutely astounding how cause and effect work. When we link in, then we get the effects of that linking in. So every choice that we take, every decision that we make, every word we speak, even every little thought form at the point of origin can literally make a world of difference as the river flows downstream, and it's always amplifying your intentions. That move that you're afraid of, or that choice that you're afraid to make, is probably one that's going to change everything for you. So if that hits you in the gut, you're not alone. Stop second guessing yourself. Start moving forward. Stop letting yourself doubt call the shots. The only thing that's truly holding you back from creating a life that you dream of, guys, is you. That's it. It's all just sitting there waiting for you. Take that next best step. Make that choice. Speak words that amplify what you desire, not what you don't, and catch yourself when your mind goes down those rabbit trails of the past, right? The only purpose, as a side note, the only purpose for those rabbit trails of the past is to discover what unfinished business or unresolved issues you still have active in your past. So when your mind begins to wander that way, you've got two choices. Either A, fully go down that rabbit hole, right, like Alice in Wonderland, and experience all the mayhem that's been beckoning you, so it no longer keeps sending you these messages to come back. Or say not now and decide on a time when it's better to journey there, when you have some time, when you are able to be in a quiet place and fully process everything that needs to come up. And then get back into your creator mode. See, we only have a few modes that we work from in any given moment. You, as the creator of your world, you get to choose which mode you are going to allow to be the captain of your ship. Your ship is your life. You are not actually the captain, but you get to hire the captain. Because, baby cakes, in case you have not noticed, you know, it's not you. You're the receiver of the information. You're the dictator. You're the one who takes the action. But in any given moment, there's several applicants who are asking you for a chance to run your ship. So here's your options. Is it going to be your instincts? Is it going to be your unmet needs, which is really important? And I really go over the way that this motivates us to do crazy things in our lives. Will it be your identity? Or how about your heart or your soul's innate expression through insights and intuition? And I explain each one of these in depth in my course, You've Got Miracles, because it's so important to know who you have hired to be the captain of your ship. You need to know who's running it, because if it's instincts, you're going to sail towards survival and be focused on fear and trying to discover the land of safety. If your captain is like unmet needs, you're going to be very busy sailing from island to island, trying to find someone to meet your needs, right? And you'll be stuck in a perpetual loop of seeking for these unmet needs. If the captain of your ship, though, is your soul, you're going to be in touch with your intuition. You will take inspired actions that create synchronicities. So it's really important to know who is the captain and to make that choice out of the available applicants each day, who's going to steer your ship. Because who you choose to steer your ship is also going to come with their own agendas. And it's going to direct the ship towards the island of fear or lack or struggle or perpetual unmet needs. Or it can steer the ship towards freedom, excitement, bliss, and fulfillment. Which one sounds better? So then I ask you, well, since you know which one sounds better, who has been the captain of your ship? Now, if you want to discover this powerful awareness and all the other amazing ones, book a call with me. And it's the only way that you can get into my course is through a conversation with me. And let's get you registered while the discount is still available. So let me give you an example from my life about why it's important to intentionally choose who will be the captain of your ship. And that example is the race experience that I just offered you. Now, I'm inviting you to tell me, who do you think is the captain of your ship, or was the captain of my ship when I was choosing that, right? When I was choosing to follow, I wasn't choosing from instincts. I wasn't following fear. I wasn't afraid that I wasn't going to get the supplements. I wasn't afraid something was going to happen outside of my control. So it wasn't instincts. Was it unmet needs? No, because I don't have the unmet needs that are driving me to do things to find my needs to be met. I wasn't ordering this stuff because of an unmet need. I had no idea what was even coming on the horizon, or actually what was sitting in my email inbox. Was it my heart's calling? I love to run, but I wouldn't say it was my heart's calling. What lights me up the most about racing is being able to inspire people, specifically my family and my close friends. And I know that they are inspired. And what it inspires them to do is to go after their dreams in a big way, right? So I have every excuse in the book why this doesn't make sense for me to do this, why I don't have the time. I'm busy with kids. I've got a grandson. I am running a course. I am coaching people. I'm busy, right? But here's the thing. What would I have missed out on if I would have ignored that? If I wasn't clued in, if I wasn't connected to that idea of my life is about being an inspiration. So if that becomes the captain of my ship, is how can I be inspiring? How can I leave a legacy? How can I help others to become the best version of them? Then I'm going to be having other experiences because they're going to be geared into other agendas. Do you see how that works? So it's really important to choose who is the captain of your ship. Now, today's chat, we're going to talk a little bit more about the origins of how to get the stream of miracles flowing. Who can handle a little more miracles and a little less struggle in your life? So although you may not realize it, you are daily standing on your own mountaintop. Each second of your life, you're actually walking along a pivotal razor's edge mountain ridge, which then divides your life in two entirely different potential dimensions. So what you have is, when you say you look down one side, lies the world that you live in now. It's a world of ordinary struggle and uncertainty, right? Familiar. You're probably familiar with that. And then on the other side stretches the majestic world of creation. It's the dimension, it's the area, it's the arena of miracles where dreams do unfold. And this is literally the heaven on earth. If you guys want to experience heaven on earth, this is how you do it. And it's honestly possible for you. You can see from that analogy that sometimes we get wrapped up in thinking that things have to be so difficult, and it's a journey of 1,000 miles, and it's going to take a long time to get to where you desire to be. But it's not. It's honestly one choice to walk down that side of the land of magic and miracles and walk away from struggle and pain and self-doubt. And every moment as you walk along this mountain ridge in your life, what are you doing? You're making choices, right? So you're walking on this ridge and you're making a choice. Am I going to go this way? Am I going to go this way? So whether you're aware of it or not, each moment that you choose, what's actually happening is just like you pouring water of your thoughts down one side or the other. And you're choosing to continue pouring down these thoughts of, conflict and lack and fear, or you can choose to pour thoughts of fulfillment, ease, and visions of intentional creation. In the most practical sense, you're choosing each second to remain in the dimension of the ordinary and the practical, right? Or to be able to be accessing the dimensions of the miraculous. Then as you continue to walk on this razor's edge of your existence, the thoughts that you are pouring down are actually what is flowing down the side of these massive mountain slopes. And they have that cause and effect happening. And it rolls downhill. It gains momentum. It's like a snowball effect, right? And it continues to get bigger and bigger until inevitably they crest the threshold and becomes your personal reality. And that's what you're seeing around you. So this is like, okay, I don't know how many of you go hiking, but think about going hiking and then the snow starts to melt, right? It's going to go more often in the grooves that are already established. It's probably not going to create new grooves unless there's an obstruction. And we've talked about that in previous videos. And so I want you to picture yourself standing right at the top, right at the peak of this thing, right? You're at a mountain ridge and you can look down this side and this side, and you get to choose. So one side, you have that mediocrity, that life that you have been living, and the other side, it just looks amazing, right? That's your land of personal miracles, and it's waiting for you. And it's literally a choice. It's just as easy to go this way as it is to go this way, except the difference is that you probably aren't going to have as many people around you who understand you if you go to the miraculous side. So what happens is we hold ourselves back. We're like, well, yeah, that looks inviting, but then I probably am going to detach from some people in my world. And so we just choose mediocrity over and over and over again. But if something in you is really beckoning you to move into that land of the miraculous, if you really want to push the easy button and see what's available to you, I invite you to notice the difference of your choices and then begin to send streams of thoughts down the side that's going to bring you that land of magic and miracles, instead of sending it down towards judgments and fears and struggles, right? I know that you want something more and you deserve so much more in your life. You deserve the life that you desire. So this is a very powerful way of looking at the power of your thoughts and your choices, because in this analogy, each one matters. Each thought will add to the stream on one side or the other, and each one will end up in the reservoir at the bottom. And then whichever reservoir fills up quickest, guess what, guys? That is where your experience will be. So you can see how quickly it can fill up. Now that's the power of your will, and you employ each and every day your will. It's kind of like an internal spring. This never-ending water continues to flow out of you, and there's your thoughts and your intentions. It's an inexhaustible flow. So as long as you have breath, you will also have intentions and you will also have thoughts. And just like that internal spring that continues to flow, it's actually neutral in nature. It's waiting for you to imprint it or label or direct it. It's technically label-less. It's pure, it's formless. It's just this continuous stream, this flow of energy that's waiting for you to give it the direction. Some of you will create intentions and thoughts that are directed to the side of magic and miracles, but most of you are going to send the majority of your thoughts down that side of focusing on self-criticism, pain, judgment, fear of failure, and suffering. Can you see? This is the literal point of creation. This is what a lot of people are talking about as the 0 point of creation. Now, that can sound really confusing because you're thinking 0 point of creation, but you're standing right there. What it means is you're there at the precipice. You have the option to decide like this, or it's going to go like this. This is the point where you're accessing all energy, where all energy is still neutral, and you're the chooser of where that internal stream will flow. So then I ask you, Which reservoir is your internal spring feeding? Do you sending most of your thoughts or your streams of thoughts towards judgment, fear, and struggle, or are you choosing to send them more towards magic, miracles, and your deservingness? Each second, you're the director. You are the chooser. You're the creator of your reality. You're choosing to remain either in the dimension of ordinary or to choose the dimension of miraculous. And when you look at it this way, you can see how simple this formula is, can't you? And you can see whether you want to accept responsibility for your reality. Because if you don't, it's not you who's actually creating it, right? We want to be that chooser. We want to be the one who says, okay, here's my stream. I'm choosing for it to go this way because I want this reservoir of magic and miracles to be the one that rises up so that that's the one that I float on. And as long as you're here experiencing this earth adventure, you're going to continue walking along that razor's edge of your life every day. You will continue to be the chooser of your reality and the creator of your experiences. So what is it? I ask you, what is it that you want to experience? And how are you directing that internal spring to flow out of you? Which reservoir are you filling up faster? Remember, my loves, the only thing that's holding you back in life from the life that you love is you. Now, the key takeaways today are to remember to choose who will be the captain of your ship, because it will determine your journey and the islands of circumstances that you're going to experience. So that's really, really important. Number 2 is you've always been and you've always had an inexhaustible flow through your internal spring. This is your will, and it's your choice, your options to choose which side of the mountain you're going to send those streams of water down. And number 3, you can tell which side of this precipice you have been sending the most water down by the side that has the highest reservoir. Which side is it that you want to be sailing in? All right, my loves, that's it for today. I so love reading your comments, and today I invite you to share which has been the most pivotal for you, which has been the most eye-opening takeaway, and maybe you want to share who has been the captain of your ship, or which side will you intentionally spend the rest of your week choosing to send your water down. Remember, each little drop, each thought matters, and each one will create the thoughts that you have, the choices you take, and the actions that you make. If you need help distinguishing who's the captain of your ship and switching it up to someone who's more aligned with your dreams, I really encourage you to book a free call with me. And let's get you registered in my You've Got Miracles course, because you deserve to live the easy life of You've Got Miracles. All right, much love, and remember, you are the magnificent creator of your own life. Mwah.